fellow booktubers, my name is Lauren, you're watching Dreams Books Courage, and today I'm going to be filming my August TBR. I have no idea how many books I'm going to be getting through in the month of August since I'm going to move into my dorm halfway through the month. But on the bright side, we have Booktubeathon this first week of August, and so I definitely plan on reading a lot of books during Booktubeathon. I have a separate TBR video up if you want to see the books that I plan to read during Booktubeathon, but these books are going to be completely different except for one of them because those books that I picked for the Booktubeathon TBR are specifically picked for those challenges, but the books that I plan on reading during the month in general are selected because I just really want to read them before I go to college. So let's go ahead and get onto these books. Before I begin, first I want to say that usually I would have the same amount of books on my TBR as I had on my wrap-up last month. And my wrap-up last month was 5 books, and this month I'm going to be having 6 books on my TBR because the first one I'm going to be showing you I'm almost finished with, and I will definitely be done with it within the next few days. And so I decided to go ahead and make my TBR just a little bit bigger. So this first book is the one that I'm currently reading, and that is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I'm sure that all of you know what this book is, and most of you have probably read this. This is actually my first time reading it, and while reading it I'm switching between audiobook and the actual book. But I really recommend the audiobook. The narrator is Sissy Spacek, who is actually from my hometown, and she is just like the perfect audiobook narrator for this book, so I definitely recommend it. This is the story of Scout while she's growing up, and her older brother Jim, and also her dad Atticus Finch. It deals with a lot of topics, but especially racism and growing up, and those are definitely 2 very important subjects. I really wish I had read this book when I was younger, because it is just such an important book. No matter what age you are, if you have not yet picked up this book, I would definitely recommend that you do. This is such an important read, and it's very well written, so I would definitely recommend it. I'm about 2/3 through with this book, and it is the last day of July while I am filming this, so I do not think that I will be finishing it this month, but I can already tell that this book is definitely going to get a very good rating. This next book I will actually probably start to read after Booktubeathon ends, and that book is Go Set a Watchman, also by Harper Lee. This is kind of like a sequel to Kill a Mockingbird because it does have the same narrator, whose name is Scout, but in this book she is formerly known as Jean Louise, and this is about her looking back on her life and just kind of seeing things without the rose-colored glasses. I've heard quite a few mixed reviews, but I think that I will really enjoy this book because I did not grow up reading To Kill a Mockingbird. Again, this book definitely deals with racism, but it also deals with Jean Louise since she is in college now, and I think that that will be very interesting to me especially, and I'm really excited to see how I feel about this one. After those 2 books, I plan on reading Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. For those of you who did not watch my July book haul, I'm reading this book because it is common reading for my university, and I'm super excited about this book because I've heard such good things about it both on BookTube and off. The main plot of this book is about a flu epidemic that kind of ruins the entire world, and this sounds so interesting because it takes place 20 years after that pandemic has passed, and it's just about how society is trying to rebuild itself and how the arts are so influential to us even whenever we lose all of humanity. This sounds like such a great read, and I'm so excited to read it. Since it is common reading, I plan on kind of annotating this while I go along. I've never done that before, so if you have any tips on that, definitely leave them down below, but I'm really looking forward to doing that and also seeing what this book has in store. The next book is one that I've also heard amazing things about, and that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This edition of Fangirl is so cute, and I'm so excited to finally read this story. It's about this girl named Kath, and she and her twin sister go off to the same college, but then her sister wants to kind of branch out from her. And Kath has a lot of social anxiety issues, and so it's about her trying to adjust to college on her own and also trying to make friends. Also, Kath writes a lot of fan fiction, and the fiction is kind of based off of Harry Potter, and so I'm just really looking forward to that aspect as well. This sounds like such a cute and adorable read, and obviously there's a guy involved as well, so I'm definitely looking forward to where this book goes, and I'm so excited to finally read it. Next, we have a book that I may or may not read during the Booktubeathon instead, and that book is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This is one classic that I'm really looking forward to finally reading, and it is also quite short. This has such an interesting premise because within this world, books are outlawed, and so if there's one found in your house, your entire house will be burned down, which is a horrible thing, and I would definitely be in a lot of trouble. And the main character is a guy named Guy, and he is one of these firemen who actually start the fires, and so it's kind of about his own self-discovery and realizing that what he's doing is bad. And this is also pretty scary because it resembles what our world could possibly turn into. So I'm sure that this is a very important read. And I've read a short story by Ray Bradbury and I really liked his writing style. So I think that I will really enjoy this one as well. And the final book that I plan on reading in the month of July is It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. And this is about a guy who's an overachiever and he's trying to get into this amazing college, but then he falls into a deep depression and then he has to go to a mental hospital. And I know that there are a lot of interesting and unique characters throughout this book. I've heard great things about it from Raylene over at Padfoot and Prongs, and one of my best friends loves this book, so I'm really interested to see if I enjoy this book as much as she does, and I'm just really looking forward to getting into this story. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you have read any of these books, I would love to hear your thoughts on them down below. I would also love to know down below how many books you are planning on reading in the month of August, and now I'm gonna go get back to reading.